everyone, welcome to Bickering Book Reviews. I'm Sarah.
And I'm Becky.
And today we're talking about Comics Will Break Your Heart by Erin Hicks. I got this through NetGalley.
I think I got it through eARCs.
Okay, so this is about Miriam, who has a family history with the very popular Tomorrowmen comics. However, due to kind of different lawsuits, they have lost their rights to the Tomorrowmen. So... Why are you giving me a strange look?
No.
Okay. I was like, did I give a spoiler? Oh no. Anyway, I'm trying really hard not to do spoilers. I really try. Anyway, so her family kind of has to struggle to kind of make ends meet. So Miriam is working at the local comic book shop to save money for college. Her mom does still paint. I don't even know what her dad does. Anyway.
He's got a job of some sort where he drives a truck.
Oh, yeah.
That's all we know.
And the really strange bull castration story that they talk about all the time.
That's true.
Anyway, a very cute stranger comes into town. Young stranger. Miriam's age. He comes into the comic book shop, sees one of her mom's painting of the original Tomorrowmen, and he buys it, and she kind of develops that connection because he appreciates the original Tomorrowmen like she does. And then... lo and behold, she finds out that his name is Weldon Warwick, who in the lawsuit is the one who his family won the rights to the Tomorrowmen, and so now they have this big publishing company, and the Tomorrowmen are being turned into a movie. So he's this really rich kid who's been sent to live in this kind of no man's land town in Canada with his aunt and uncle because he is this rich playboy. He keeps getting into trouble, and his dad wants him out of the way while they get the movie together so that there's no bad publicity. And of course, this very Romeo and Juliet-esque tale, you know, they kind of start falling for each other and rehashing old family histories.
So you hit on one of the things. So there were parts of this book I liked, and then there were parts of this book, it wasn't that I didn't like them, but it was just like they were just kind of meh. So one of the things I did like about this book is it takes place in rural Canada. I don't know if I've ever seen a YA book like that before. Yeah. And like they talk about like this, like literally this side of town has good internet, this side of town doesn't have good internet. And I mean, like there are parts, I'm sure there are parts in the United States, digital divide, all that stuff that has that too. But you don't see that taking place in Canada. Like I think everything I've read like that are Canadian, like that we get in the States at least, and maybe we're not even getting this in the States and we just found it on eDevice. I don't know. But I feel like they're usually like thrillers or paranormal or stuff. You don't get stuff like a realistic fiction taking place in this part of Canada. And I thought that was kind of cool.
Because they talk about, like, I mean, it makes sense geographically, but they talk about how, like, oh, it will take days to get to this big city. And I'm like, wait a minute, what?
Right. So that's, yeah.
It makes sense, like, when you think about Canada as a country, but you're just like, oh, yeah.
Because Canada's huge.
It is huge.
So, and I thought that was cool. And so that was the thing, like, it's like, I liked the characters, but, like, they didn't, like, hit it out of the park. Like, they were just okay.
Well, and I thought it was interesting that they talked about the fact that you can kind of grow up and want to stay in your hometown, and that's okay.
Right.
And you can grow up and want to go to college, and that's okay. And it's not kind of making anybody feel bad that all they want to do is just graduate and stay in their hometown because they love it there. And
you don't usually see that.
You don't see that a lot.
And I thought it was funny from my experience at the Cartoon Library. There's a whole part where they're talking about how commercial Comic-Con is and how like hardcore like comic book people, not comic book movie people, and comic illustrators. That's not the right word though, because they're artists. Like they're not as enamored with Comic-Con as it once was, and I've heard that from people who had gone to Comic-Con before it became the con, before the studios swooped in, and people who know me have heard the rants about, like, Twilight should not be a Comic-Con. Because it's not a comic book. It's not. It shouldn't be there. But, and I feel like I don't know what this book was trying to be, though. Because, like, Miriam never felt real enough for me to be, like, this book where it was, like, she's coming of age and I want to hear her story. She and Weldon's relationship, it wasn't really a romance. Because it says it's, they kind of are marketing it as a romance. The cover looks like it should be a romance. But it didn't quite get there.
You know, and like as we talk about it and like as I think about it, really you could tweak this book and make it a kid's book and it would work much better, I think.
Like they were 12 or 13 instead of being...
Yeah, I think you could
Yeah.
You could really do that.
Well, and the other thing is, like, their whole lives revolve around comics. Like, her grandfather had drawn the comics, his grandfather had helped develop the comics, her mother draws the paintings, the best friend is writing scripts for the comics. There are no visual representations in this book at all. The author is a former comic book artist, which is one of the things that drew me to it. So I assumed there would be something, and maybe in the final version there is, but that kind of threw me.
It would be cool to have kind of mixed media going on.
Yeah.
It would. Not that it would be a graphic novel or a comic book itself, but like a mixed media book would be.
Or like maybe the start of every chapter have something. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it was perfectly fine. It was cute and it was okay and it was quick. I read it like in a day and a half, but it wasn't like, wow. And I think it has the potential to be wow.
I think it would have been. It could have been wow if you. It really does have the potential there, especially if it were a kid's book. I think if it was a kid's book, it would have worked way better.
And I think it, or if they just went like a one more like pushed further some way.
Yeah.
We should rate it
because you're right. The romance kind of going on between Weldon and Miriam. It was never like, are they together? Aren't they together? Do they like each other? Don't they like each other? They're holding hands. Are they kissing? Are they not kissing?
Like,
what's going on?
Do they kiss it at all until the very, very end?
I don't think so. I guess I thought that they had been. Like, I thought that they were together, but I don't think.
Because there's a lot of them walking around and talking and going to, like, a diner, but.
I don't know. It just.
And they never. I really wish that there would be a line somewhere that explains the Weldon thing. Did they ever explain the Weldon thing? Why is his name Weldon?
I don't know. It's kind of an interesting name.
It is an interesting name, and there should have been a story.
Anyway, we're gonna rate it. Our rating scale goes from 5 unicorns down to 2 unicorns. If we don't like it, it is a horse. Where are you?
It's a 3.
Yeah, I'm at a 3.
It just is what it is. It could have been a 4, but like I said, just to me, it feels like a 3.
Yeah, at 3.
And so that is where we are, and comics will break your heart.
All right, see you around.
Bye.